certified star. Indians still perfect in October.
We still have some games left. We feel like we can score against those guys.
We play good at home. Our backs against the wall. That's pretty obvious.
The roof at Rogers Center in Toronto is closed on this evening, and 50,000 are trying to raise the roof. They haven't gotten to see the Blue Jays much in this postseason. This will be just the third game. The first two beyond memorable. In the wild card game, bottom of the 11th, Edwin Encarnacion walks off the Baltimore Orioles. Game 3 against Texas, bottom of the 10th, the Donaldson Dash. And the Blue Jays walk off the Rangers in a 3-game sweep. And now they're back home in the American League Championship Series, find themselves down 2-0 to the Cleveland Indians. Welcome everybody to Toronto. Ernie Johnson along with Ron Darling. Got the Iron Man Cal Ripken down there by the dugout. And guys, we look at this series in which very few runs have been scored. And here are just a sampling of some of the numbers. The Blue Jays with 25 strikeouts, haven't hit a long ball yet. The only guys with hits for the Indians, Lindor, Chisenhall, Santana, nothing from the rest. The bullpens, lights out, combined ERA of 0.00. So, Cal, when we start looking at this series and wait for game 3 here in Toronto, what's jumping out at you so far?
I say forget about all those numbers and try to figure out why they aren't hitting. Start to look at the trends of the way the bullpen is being used. And I think the trends sometimes do change, and you're seeing it all over baseball. But it starts right here with Francona and his use of Andre Miller. They're bringing him in any sort of situations. We're used to seeing the Kansas City Royals last year. They have a guy for the 7th. They have a guy for the 8th. They have a guy for the 9th. We saw Mariano Rivera in years past. He not only got the last 3 outs of the game during the regular season, he got 6 during the playoffs. But now it seems like anybody could be brought in at any time whenever that game is being decided, and Andrew Miller is the difference maker.
All right, Cal, Ronnie, what's your biggest takeaway here as we head into game 3?
I mean, 5 runs have been scored by these two offenses that are really, really good offenses. And I expected a little more thunder from the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, they play better at this ballpark, and John Gibbons has made a change. Jose Bautista is going to be leading off tonight. Talk about thunder. 40 games he led off for these Blue Jays. They were 25-15.
Pitching matchup tonight. Marcus Stroman pitched the wild card game here. First time he's pitched since then. Meantime, you got Trevor Bauer going for the Cleveland Indians. You know all about the drone accident. You know all about the gruesome look on that pinky finger. But he's going to go tonight. It's game 3. Blue Jays trying to get back in this series. A trip to the World Series at stake.
This 2016 ALCS telecast on TBS is brought to you by the Lincoln Motor Company and the exhilarating new Lincoln MKZ. By AT&T, mobilizing your world. By Arby's. Arby's, we have the meats. And by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Whatever you're celebrating, celebrate responsibly.
The war goes up as the Toronto Blue Jays take the field. And we go down to the field and Sam Ryan. Sam.
Well, Ernie, a bit of uncertainty in regards to Trevor Bauer. He makes the start with 10 stitches in his pinky. Suffered in that drone mishap late last week. There is no bandage over the pinky tonight. As you take a look at it, this is just before the game moments ago. Now, the Indians tell me yesterday they numbed up the pinky. They sent him to the bullpen. He threw about 25 pitches. Wanted to make sure that the stitches held, that they didn't open up, that there wasn't any fresh blood. They didn't see any of that. They were confident coming into today. But according to Major League Baseball rules, no foreign substance permitted on the hand or the finger. That means no bandage, no Band-Aid, no glue. He's going without the bandage tonight. All eyes on Trevor Bauer, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Sam. Yeah, the big thing they're going to be looking for is should that start to bleed, and then it becomes an issue as to whether or not you can stay in the game. We will certainly keep you posted on that. And we jump into the batting order. For the Cleveland Indians, Carlos Santana in the leadoff spot. Then it's Jason Kipnis, Francisco Lindor, who has been the guy in this series so far for Cleveland. Mike Napoli still looking to break out. Then it's Jose Ramirez, Lonnie Chisenhall, the only Indian who has hit safely in each of the playoff games. Coco Crisp hit 7th, and Tyler Naquin and Roberto Perez.
Well, already in his young career, only 25 years old, Marcus Stroman has pitched really well in the postseason. He pitched a game last year against the Texas Rangers, who went 7 strong innings, retiring 14 in a row. And he pitched in the wild card game. He pitched fantastic, except for the 2-run home run he gave up to Mark Trumbo. Well, defensively behind him, Kevin Pillar in center field will make the spectacular play. Carrera and Bautista have great arms. Left side of the defense has been great. Donaldson, Tulowitzki. Ryan Goins can win you a game defensively as a second baseman tonight. Encarnacion at first, and Russell Martin got that Gold Glove in 07. You know, it's interesting, behind Salvador Perez, second highest among AL catchers, his fielding percentage. He's had a couple of miscues, though, in this series, which is very unusual for Russell.
Carlos Santana steps in to lead it off. Remember game 1 in Cleveland? That big shift on, which the Blue Jays have again, and Santana laid down a bunt up toward third. Got on. I don't think Josh Donaldson has forgotten that, Cal.
No, he hasn't.
When you watch Marcus Stroman pitch, there's Donaldson right there. You'll know he's pitching well if you see a lot of balls on the ground. Good sinking fastball.
He misses with the first 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Stroman, 25 years old, went 9-10, started 32 games. And missed again, 3-0. His last win came on August 14th. He was 0-5 in September. Did pitch well, Ronnie, as you point out, in that wild card game. No decision. And there's a strike.
Well, it's interesting to see Stroman. He's got a full lather working. We got here 5 hours before the game. It was very comfortable in here. It's got to be at least 20 degrees warmer right now.
And Santana draws a leadoff walk. Let's take a look at the umpiring crew for game 3. The crew chief is Brian Gorman. He's behind the plate. Jim Reynolds at first. Mike Everett makes the calls at second. Jeff Nelson at third. Mark Wagner is out of the replay booth and onto the field for the rest of this series. He's on the left field line, and Jim Wolf on the right field line. Here's Jason Kipnis. That's over 0-1. Kipnis fighting it in this series, as a lot of Indians are. 0 for 7. He's 4 for 18 with a home run and 3 runs batted in this postseason. Santana with a lead at first, and Stroman to the plate.
Well, this has got to help Kipnis here with Encarnacion holding on Santana. That opens up that hole between Encarnacion and Goins.
Pretty well hit toward the gap in left center field, but Pilar can cover a lot of ground. 1 down.
Cal, I'm always shocked when it isn't a diving play by Kevin Pilar.
That was just one of the routine plays where they had him played perfectly, got a good jump, and easily ran that line drive down. Good swing by Kipnis. Looks like he's starting to find a little life in his bat as well.
Here's Francisco Lindor. All he's done is homer in game 1, and then knock in the deciding run in game 2. Fooled him 0-1.
Well, that's that good breaking ball that in the middle of the season really deserted Marcus Stroman. But of late, he's gotten it back.
Santana, a lead at first. And quickly Stroman out in front of Lindor. No balls and 2 strikes.
Ronnie, I was scouting Stroman a little bit because he hadn't pitched in a while. He just wanted to see if he had his control. And he's also the kind of player that feeds off the crowd and gets his adrenaline flowing. So I thought that combination might be a little bit tough for him in the early going, but he seems to have found it a little bit.
Boy, that came up right underneath the mask of Brian Gorman and caught him as he rubs his neck now. Professional courtesy, nice by Russell Martin. He went out to give him some time.
The 0-2. Lindor goes down swinging.
Well, so far it seems that the game plan for Stroman, and I think it's a good one, is to not throw too many strikes to Francisco Lindor because he's locked in.
Here's the cleanup hitter, Mike Napoli. Guy who knocked in 101 runs in the regular season, but hasn't plated one here in the postseason. In fact, just 2 for 18 for a 111 mark.
Hitless in his last 25 at-bats against right-handed pitching.
And 0 for 9 off of Stroman.
You're right about Stroman, though. He was at Duke, occasionally played within the infield, so he's almost like an athlete stuck in a pitcher's body.
Ball and a strike, and here it comes. In the air to right center field. Bautista going way back. That's off the wall. Santana is around third. He will score, and the Indians are on the board. Mike Napoli breaks out.
Well, those walks come back to haunt you. This looks like I want to say a little cutter or hard slider that stays over the plate. Big, strong Mike Napoli drills at the right field. I thought for a minute Bautista was going to have a chance at that. Came right in and out of his glove as he hit the fence.
Jose Ramirez takes outside 1-0.
It was almost like Bautista was preparing himself to hit the fence at the same time the ball went in his glove. And that's how it darted loose.
Would have been a spectacular catch. And he darn near made it, but it's 1-0. Napoli's first RBI of this postseason. To left field. And Carrera makes the play. But Cleveland gets on the board. 2-out double by Mike Napoli. We head to the bottom of the first in Toronto. John Gibbons shaking things up on the Toronto side with Jose Bautista in the cleanup spot. Then Donaldson, Encarnacion, Troy Tulowitzki started the series in the 6th hole, then to the 5. Tonight it's cleanup. Then it's Martin, Saunders, Pilar, Carrera, and Ryan Goins. And they face Trevor Bauer.
Well, Trevor Bauer started the season out of the starting rotation. He was in the bullpen. Faced Toronto this year, 1-0, 2 runs only, given up in 13 innings pitched.
He throws Bautista a strike. 0-1. Bautista in the leadoff spot. Toronto was 25-15 this year.
I like the shakeup by John Gibbons. I asked him if he put the names in a hat and threw them out that way. And he said he's not that desperate yet. But Bautista, good eye at home plate, gets on base a high percentage of the time, can pop a ball out of the ballpark, and it'll roll the big part of the order around that much quicker. So it's a good counter by manager John Gibbons.
Yeah, might jumpstart Bautista a little bit too. He's 0 for his last 14. Cut through that, 2-2. 0 for 6 in the series, and just 143, 3 for 21 in this postseason. 2 of his hits are home runs. Tried to check. They check at first base, and Jim Reynolds says he didn't go. Well, that was close.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to look good. Although he looks like he had much more control from this side. Looked like he lost control of the bat. He went out in front of home plate. And I would agree, good call.
Payoff pitch. And he got him looking, 1 down.
I mean, it really has been a case for these Cleveland pitchers. Every time it seems like they have to make a perfect pitch, they do. Knees and corner.
At 95, Ronnie.
I haven't gotten a chance to watch Roberto Perez play this many games in a row. He really is great at framing the ball on the plate.
Here's Josh Donaldson. The Trevor Bauer story, you've heard the guys talk about it on the pregame show. You've seen it all over the internet. Doing maintenance on a drone. He in fact brought a drone with him to the press conference yesterday and explained how it happened with putting the batteries in, and the rotor wasn't supposed to go, but it did, and then sliced a chunk out of his pinky on his pitching hand. He has 10 stitches in there. Grounded foul. And for a ball game like this, here's the deal: you cannot have anything else but the stitches. Can't have a Band-Aid, can't have anything wrapped on there, can't have any super glue or any of that stuff on there. And so the concern is, can he pitch without that thing opening up and possibly bleeding on the baseball? 2-1. Up high. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Well, so far, stuff-wise, I haven't seen any change. He's throwing mid-90s. He's got that good overhand curveball.
Donaldson draws a 1-out walk. There you see the rule: you can't attach anything to either hand or any kind of foreign substance.
Although it's been attempted many times.
Attempted and accomplished.
I'm wondering if super glue was a late addition. The specifics of super glue is interesting to me.
Encarnacion takes a strike 0-1.
During the regular season, Trevor Bauer walked 13 batters in the first inning. That's the most of any inning for him this year.
Donaldson with the lead at first. Encarnacion takes inside. Ball and a strike. You see first inning troubles for the Cleveland right-hander, who walked 70 this year, 7th in the American League. Breaking pitch over for a strike.
Walked 79 last year, so that's been an issue that he's still working on.
The 1-2 to center field. Tyler Naquin makes the play for the second out.
You know, it's not like the Cleveland pitchers haven't made mistakes, Cal. That was the ball that we've seen Encarnacion handle before. Really down the middle of the plate. Just missed it.
Yeah, a little unlucky. You can't guide it once you hit it. When it seems like you're not getting hits, it seems like you're lining out when you do hit the ball well on the bat.
Troy Tulowitzki slowly but surely climbing his way up John Gibbons' batting order. Hit 6th in game 1, hit 5th, flipping with Russell Martin in game 2. Cleanup tonight. The 0-1. Bauer pitched twice against Toronto this year, one of them in relief in that 19-inning game. He got the win, pitched 5 strong innings. then went 8 innings in his only start against Toronto. That was in Cleveland in the middle of August.
Bench players Rajay Davis and Brandon Guyer discussing things.
2 balls, 1 strike. And the count even. Bauer was doing his usual pregame routine today with a long toss out there. Had the earphones on. Hey, Cal, he's got some blood that he has wiped on it. It's dripping now.
Yeah, I see it
from his hand.
Yeah, that's too much.
I saw him wiping his shirt right there. It's not on his pants, so it'll start to show up, but he's putting it up.
This.
Yeah, it's dripping pretty good.
Yeah, you can't pitch with that. And he's wiping it on his shirt because it's harder to see than if you wiped it on your pants. Although it's dripping on his pants now.
Yeah.
Another walk there at first and second. Now John Gibbons is going to come out, and I'm sure he's going to talk to Brian Gorman about the visible bleeding from the hand of Trevor Bauer. One of the things we discussed before the game as we went over the ground rules is you cannot have a discoloration of the baseball.
That's right. And he is bleeding so much from that hand. He's trying to hold it against his jersey to stop the bleeding. But, you know, when you have those stitches in and you're trying to throw a ball 95 miles an hour, I don't know how the stitches could ever stay in place. You see all the bullpen for Cleveland trying to figure out now if someone that came in, they'd have as much time as they wanted once they got on the mound to get it going. But I mean, in my opinion, there's no way you can continue in this game with the blood gushing from your hand.
Francona and coaching staff, they had another plan. They were thinking that this might happen. Even as far as saying who will start tomorrow. They've got some of that figured out right now, but knowing Francona, he's just going to worry about tonight's game, and it's going to be a whole bullpen.
Yeah, that's pitching coach Mickey Callaway. Francona's talking to right now.
Yeah, I can't see that we'll be able to stop the bleeding.
No, he's done. You know, it's interesting. You have to make a choice as a manager who to bring in depending on what situation you're in. You got 2 guys on now.
And now this becomes a matchup situation instead of a long man situation that says I'm going to get you where the starter was supposed to. You want to get out of this inning and you want to match up effectively with the next couple hitters.
Well, everyone on the bullpen, they all knew that to be ready from number 1 pitch on, and of course frustration for Trevor Bauer, but no way did I ever think he'd be able to pitch for a long period of time with stitches on your finger.
That's James Quinlan, the Indians' athletic trainer out there doing what he can. And you're seeing a few head shakes out there. And that's it.
I don't know if I'd be cheering for a guy leaving with that kind of injury.
The accident happened Friday morning. 10 stitches. Basically 4 days hoping that those were good enough to make him able to pitch. Not the case. We'll be back. We are back in Toronto, and we're in the bottom half of the first inning, and a lot has happened already. Cleveland on the board in the top half of the first. Trevor Bauer trying to pitch with those stitches in his pinky. And he struck out Bautista, walked Donaldson, got Encarnacion to fly out to center, and then as he pitched to Tulowitzki, you saw the blood pouring from the finger. And as he walked him, Francona came out, made the change. Dan Otero is on.
Well, Dan Otero is the guy that they usually bring in a little later in the game. He's a ground ball specialist, and they need him to get one right now. But this changes a lot of things for the Indians now, depending on the outcome. But Terry Francona is going to have to start talking to his starters, and people are going to be changing positions and places.
There has been every indication that if something like this happened, there would be a strong possibility, Ron, that we would see Corey Kluber pitching game 4 on short rest.
Pitched into the 7th inning brilliantly in Cleveland.
Let's listen in to Brian Gorman, the home plate umpire, moments ago.
Blood coming out of my hand. So just
Go again. That's too much. You're gonna have to replace him.
Brian Gorman, the crew chief, taking a look at that situation and then making the call.
You know, I sat next to Brian on the plane here from Cleveland, and we were talking about that, and he said, if I see too much blood, he's going to have to go. It's exactly what he ended up having to do.
It almost seemed like the umpires wanted to let that play out before, you know, instead of actually going out there first. Because the second base umpire, Mike Everett, was standing right there in the grass. And it just played out. It almost seemed that John Gibbons had to go out there and say, you know, it looks like the blood is going, go take a look.
You know, Cal, I think what happened is with 2 outs, umpires and Francona were just hoping that maybe Bauer could get through that inning and they could tend to it in between innings, and maybe it would change it.
Like a fighter trying to make it to the end of the round.
There you go. Cut me, Mick.
But it was umpire stops contest in this one. And Tito Francona, the rest of the Indians, telling Trevor Bauer, thanks for giving it a shot, as he did. He leaves with runners at first and second, both on via the walk, and here is Russell Martin facing Dan Otero. Martin just 2 for 23 this postseason. That's 087.
Toronto's had traffic on the bases, especially in the first game against Kluber. Have not come up with that big hit.
Just inside, a ball and a strike.
They won for their last 21 in the post with 2 out and men on base.
Donaldson at second. Tulowitzki at first. A ball and a strike, and here it comes. Right back up the middle. Kipnis had him played that way and throws him out. Martin hit that ball pretty well, but he was defensed perfectly. We head to the second. Live every postseason moment with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. It's the only place to get it all. Live radio feeds, video highlights, pitch tracking, StatCast, and much more. Download at Bat today. Folks at Mary Ark's Pub and Grill in Lakewood, Ohio, cheering on the Cleveland Indians as Lonnie Chisenhall leads it off in the second and grounds to second.
You know what's interesting about this series is that Cleveland leads it by 2, but they've had to move up Josh Tomlin. Looks like they might have to move up Corey Kluber. They might have to pitch Ryan Merritt in this series. Mike Clevenger might get some major time. So everything changing on the fly for Terry Francona.
Here is Coco Crisp. He takes a strike.
Well, guys, I thought he had a pretty good handle on it in the meeting with the managers beforehand. They've done a lot of thinking on that possibility of just what happened. So they're not caught by surprise.
You're right, Cal. I think they probably spent their entire off day thinking about every single scenario that could have happened.
Yeah. So what happens if it's the first inning? What happens if he gives us 3? What if we get 5 innings out of him like the first time he pitched? Tonight, he lasted 2/3. Third base umpire is Jeff Nelson, who says Coco Crisp did not commit. Coco, a guy who laid down a couple of sacrifice bunts in his last start, and also homered at Fenway Park in the clincher of the ALDS.
I was thinking that all of these decisions that they make, the biggest one really revolves around if they win or lose the game. That changes things also.
Count full to Coco Crisp.
I can't help but think about Coco Crisp. He's so calm in playoff baseball. He's got enough experience in it, and he brings that sort of same calmness to his at bat. He's been here before.
Need that on a team come October, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Guy who can do this, give himself up, and a guy who can do this, put one in the seats over the monster, and a guy who can do this, fall behind in the count and then draw a walk with one down.
Remember in that game against Boston where he bunted the runners to second and third. There's a lot of people out there who don't believe in giving up outs. Well, in that out, Naquin came up and got a single to score 2.
Naquin, the center fielder, takes inside. Yeah, that was huge after the sacrifice, and then Naquin stepped up, which had been hitless in the series, and delivered a 2-run single as Cleveland made it a 3-game sweep of the Boston Red Sox.
The Indians got a good running game, and they got one of their runners on right now.
Played 20 games with the Indians and was 3 out of 3 in stolen bases. Good base runner, Coco Crisp over there. And boy, what a jump he had. No throw. In fact, if Stroman had stepped off, he would have had him picked off.
He got such a big jump, he didn't really know what to do. He got about 4 or 5 steps out there, and he goes, boy, if he throws the first, I'm dead. But he never did.
So now Crisp in scoring position for Naquin. Takes inside again. Cleveland led the American League in stolen bases, and they swiped third a few times too. "29 times the Indians stole third base."
It's not a bad play with 1 out. Tougher play though when there's a left-handed hitter up there. It gives Russell Martin a free throw to third, open throw to third.
The 3-2 has popped up. Tulowitzki drifting back. Carrera coming in, calls him off for out number 2.
Stroman did a nice job there keeping the ball in on Naquin, but not allow him to extend his arms.
And Naquin swung late on the 3-1 pitch, a little long, and got tied up on the 3-2 pitch.
And that brings up the number 9 hitter, Roberto Perez, the Cleveland catcher. He's hitless in this series, 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. Crisp with a lead at second. Sails outside 1-0.
Stroman has only allowed 3 runs in the postseason, but they all came with 2 outs.
Looks like Coco is thinking about trying to take third. Not a big advantage stealing third with 2 outs. And by jumping around a little bit, he could be distracting to the hitter at home plate. But they're trying to hold him close, but I've noticed the last couple pitches, he's gotten a little further off.
In the dirt, bounces away from Russell Martin, and Coco Crisp moves up 90 feet.
So now he doesn't have to steal third.
Really nothing you could do there if you're Russell Martin. This slider is in the other batter's box. Martin tried to get his body in front of it, but it goes off his right hip.
So a walk, a stolen base, a wild pitch. And Crisp with a lead at third. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Perez. Stayed down low, full count, 3-2.
Well, the last couple of days, there's been some talk about the strike zone. Good slider there. Could have went either way.
Indians haven't trailed in the last 43 innings, trying to add to their lead with 2 outs here in the second. Strike 3 called. Perez retired. Stroman gets out of it. We head to the bottom of the second. Let's take a look at the art of performance presented by Jaguar. How about Clayton Kershaw last night in Game 2 of that NLCS?
Was that just great to watch that ball game and watch him compete? Couldn't make a mistake.
All tied up at a game apiece on the National League side. Here in the ALCS, it's Game 3. Cleveland with a 2-0 lead and a 1-0 lead here in Game 2. Dan Otero is on the mound facing Michael Saunders, who takes a strike. Dan Otero did not start this game. Trevor Bauer did. If you're just joining us, the stitches, he had 10 of them in the pinky after that drone maintenance accident. Ball hit well to left field. Coco Crisp is back, and that ball is gone. First home run of this series for the Toronto Blue Jays.
This looks like a sinker that didn't sink, stayed up. He's a big man, a lot of power that way.
There's 2 Canadians on this Toronto Blue Jays team, and the pride of Victoria, British Columbia, with the first home run against Otero by a left-handed hitter this year.
Quickly 0-2 to Kevin Pillar. Saunders hit a career-high 24 home runs this year. That's his first of this postseason, and it's tied the game. Right-hander Jeff Manship loosening in the Cleveland pen. Talked about Bauer not lasting the first inning. Otero feels that himself. The blood became obvious. He was lifted after 2/3. Otero came on, got the final out of the first, but the leadoff hitter right there, Michael Saunders, took him deep to tie the game.
But the way this is played out with Bauer, though, for Cleveland, bullpen by ad hoc committee. Whoever's available.
So who down there can give them some length innings? Otero's really not built for many innings. He just came in to get out of the jam, correct?
Yeah, I think the guys you would look at would be guys like Cody Anderson, Ryan Merritt, and maybe Mike Clevenger.
Ball and a strike to Ezekiel Carrera. Seen him hit leadoff in this series. Really, Devin Travis was the guy who had found a home as the leadoff hitter for Toronto, but he's out for this series and the rest of the postseason with a knee injury. And so that necessitated the move by John Gibbons to go back to Bautista in the leadoff spot, which he had done in 40 games this year.
Cal, in the open, you were talking about how they've had to push Andrew Miller. Well, in a game like this, all of the Cleveland Indian relievers are going to be pushed past what they usually do.
Yeah, I was just thinking inside, saying, okay, the normal conventional length of time has kind of gone out the window. It's what the team needs from these guys. So I don't think Francona will be. He won't be. He'll still go out and push them a little bit further to try to get every out he can out of them.
Carrera waits on a 2-2. Down the first base line, but foul.
I've been involved in these games before. It's almost like for relievers, you pitch until you're not getting someone out, then you're out.
Hit hard down that line, but clearly foul.
So right now in this game, we got a couple of guys who played for Duke as the opposing pitchers. Otero went there before he went to South Florida. And of course, Stroman for Toronto, a Duke Blue Devil.
Change up right here, Ronnie.
And it missed. 3-2.
Yeah, Cal, his fastball, which really sinks well, and he usually pitches around the knees, has been up in this inning.
A bullet up the middle. One out single for Carrera, his first hit of the series.
You know, a good counter to a good sinker ball pitcher is usually the left-handed hitters. Ball sinks out towards the barrel of the bat. It ties up right-handed hitters. The left-handers have a little bit more of a free swing at it.
Here's the number 9 hitter, Ryan Goins. Was not on the ALDS roster. John Gibbons put him on the ALCS roster because he knew that Devin Travis was iffy. That ball is hit to Lindor, who bobbles. Got the out there. Double play. Lindor juggled it, but got the bag and made the throw. Mike Everett watched it closely, made the call at second. We'll see if John Gibbons.
I think they're trying to check to see, once he bobbled it, did he pick it up in time and have his foot on the bag to make the play? And not the leg, the knee on the bag.
Ball handcuffs him right there. He goes to pick it up. It seems like he has possession of the ball while his knee's on the bag. And what a fantastic throw from his knee.
And it's like Carrera slid right into his knee.
That was what we believe is an inning-ending double play. We'll be back. Don't miss game 4 of this series. It's tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock start here on TBS. Indians and the Blue Jays. We'll get back to that inning-ending play by Lindor in just a second. Here's Santana leading off the top half of the third against Marcus Stroman. Swings at the first pitch. Pilar coming hard. But it's the second base, it's the shortstop, Tulowitzki, who makes the play.
Here's that play right here that ball jumped up and handcuffed him, and there's some question whether he picked the ball up and had possession while his knee was on the base. Clearly it was. Took a shot on the knee and still had enough strength to make that throw over to first base.
Cal, I know from watching the pregame show, and I saw you and Jimmy Rollins with Lindor, you like the kid's skill set and you like his instincts around that bag, huh?
And I can't help but think he was telling me about when he took ground balls just outside of Caguas, Puerto Rico. His dad would hit it down the hill. He wanted to make sure that he didn't let the ball go down the hill. It was a long run down there to go get the ball, so he's not afraid to block the ball.
Jason Kipnis is 0 for 1. And now 0 for 8 in the series. Hit the ball pretty well to center his first time.
I think this is the most important shutdown inning for a Blue Jays pitcher in the postseason. They've gotten it tied. They need to get right back on the bench and go back to hitting.
Tap foul at the plate. Talked about Otero and Stroman, products of Duke. In fact, Stroman was the first round pick out of Duke in baseball. Took him in the first round, number 22 overall in 2012. And last year, as he was rehabbing his knee, he finished up his sociology degree at Duke. Got his diploma.
I thought Jason looked better in BP today. He was working on driving the ball to left center field, and just so happened to hit that one the first time up. Battling right here, staying on the ball pretty good.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. His second. Bowens throws him out. 2 up and 2 down here in the third. StatCast is powered by Amazon Web Services. Almost 63 from your knees.
Yeah, I was going to say 63 miles an hour from your knee. 90 feet.
And here is Lindor.
He's got his own style, doesn't he?
He's also carrying in his pocket a lucky penny. One of the kids at Roosevelt Elementary School in Cleveland sent to him. Had it in games 1 and 2. And here in game 3, he's 0 for 2. 1-2-3 inning for Marcus Stroman in game 3.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Bottom half of the third Cleveland pitcher of the evening is Jeff Manship.
31 years old, getting his first postseason experience. 53 games for the Tribe this summer.
Manship's 31. He's played for Minnesota, the Rockies, the Phillies, and appeared in 53 games this year for Cleveland. Bautista tried to check, and again, second time tonight, they looked down there to Jim Reynolds, who said he didn't go.
Bautista only 1 for 2, but that hit was a home run against Manship.
Way out in front, 2-2.
Manship's not going to strike out a lot of hitters. He's a guy that moves the ball around, sinks it. Good curveball, slider.
A bullet to left. Chris Fields on a bounce. Sharp single to lead off the third for Jose Bautista. Moments ago, Sam Ryan with Indians manager Terry Francona.
Terry, obviously not what you had hoped for with Trevor. I know you thought this out ahead of time. As far as your bullpen, who is not available?
Well, I mean, Merritt's going to start not tomorrow. Kluber just, slotted up into tomorrow, as we talked about, which is kind of reassuring. But, when I went to the mound, when I saw blood on the rubber, that's not a real good sign that things are going well.
What did you say to him?
I told him to keep the ball. It might be worth something. It had a bunch of blood on it.
Trying to make light of the situation, but actually, who is not available tonight out of the bullpen?
Oh, everybody's available. We got to hold Merritt back, but he's going to start. But other than that, everybody's available. And Tomlin even came to me and told me that he wanted to be available tomorrow. So we're all pulling in the right direction, and we're probably going to need it.
Thanks so much, Terry.
Thanks to Sam. Thanks to Tito.
It's a team that lost Danny Salazar, Carlos Carrasco, Trevor Bauer now.
Donaldson at the plate wants time. The day they lost Carrasco, September 17th, he was hit by a line drive from Ian Kinsler. 9 pitchers combined in a shutout for Cleveland. That's in September when the rosters expand. So you had more at your disposal in the Cleveland bullpen.
I like what Tomlin did, coming to him and offering himself up. That's the kind of guys that they have. All the guys in the bullpen are willing to do whatever Francona wants them to. Guys on the starting staff, everybody just wants to pitch in.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Donaldson. Takes outside, count even. We're in the bottom half of the third. Game tied at 1. The Blue Jays have hit their first home run of this series. It came off the bat of Michael Saunders to lead off the second and tied the game. High pop up. Does Napoli have room over there by the railing? He does. 1 down. This was after game 2 Saturday night. Jeff Manship in a simulated game over at Progressive Field after the Indians had taken their 2-0 lead in the series.
Well, what happens a lot of times in these series when you're using just your main guys, the other guys in your bullpen don't get any work. That was smart of the Indians.
So you got Michael Martinez on a slow roller there. Now he's facing Edwin Encarnacion. He flied out to center his first time.
Encarnacion's power in the postseason has been down and in. Manship trying to keep that ball away.
Popped him up. Kipnis 2 down. The latest to get loose in the Cleveland bullpen is Zach McAllister, who we haven't seen in this postseason yet.
Like Manship, he was part of that simulated game also.
Troy Tulowitzki steps in and then steps out.
Don't expect Batista to run. Just because he's in the leadoff spot now doesn't make him go over there and steal bases. They're going to want Tulowitzki to swing the bat.
And he pops it up. Kipnis is there. Lindor waves him off. And after the leadoff single, 3 pop-ups induced by Jeff Manship. Head to the 4th. It is a beautiful night in Toronto. Roof closed here at Rogers Center for Game 3. American League Championship Series. Kind of a dismal day, really foggy most of the time with a little bit of rain. But the roof closed here for Game 1. Or game 1 here. And that ball is well hit by Mike Napoli. See you later, Napoli. A run-scoring double and now a solo home run to lead off the 4th.
Had a lot of things to celebrate with Mike Napoli this year. Kind of a de facto captain of this ball club.
Jose Ramirez takes a strike. Napoli 0 for 6 in this series coming in. A double and a home run.
I love what Terry Francona says about him. He says half the guys love him as a leader, the other half are afraid of him.
Ramirez on the ground to Collins, who's raising out.
The first time up, I think he hit a cutter at the right center field. And this was supposed to be a sinker on the outside corner, ran over to the plate. I think Napoli was looking for the fastball in that one, drove it out of center field.
Reaction from Stroman. Give up that home run in the wild card game to Trumbo, and here in Napoli in the ALCS.
Ronnie Chisenhall is 0 for 1. Has hit safely in every postseason game for Cleveland. Came in 7 for 16 in the post. And 4 for 6 in this series. He grounded out his first time.
That's been the strikeout weapon so far for Stroman, is that slider down and in to the left-handed hitter.
So 2 down now for Coco Crisp. The first of what they hope are 3 games here in Toronto in a 2-0 series.
Last year, these Blue Jays fought back, lost the first 2 games in the ALCS to Kansas City. In Kansas City, came back here and won 2 out of 3 to push it to 6 games.
Two balls and a strike. Terry Francona, as a manager, when his teams have had a 2-0 lead, have never lost the series. He's 6-0.
This might be one of his greater challenges.
This game in particular.
Yeah.
Three balls, 1 strike. Here it comes.
That's a good swing there from Coco Crisp, right on it.
Good late sink on that ball, too.
On the ground, Goins. Nice play by the Toronto's second sacker to end the 4th, but not before Cleveland breaks the tie. Mike Napoli got it all. 2-1. Follow Bleacher Report on Instagram and get the coolest sports content before anybody else. Join millions of others and follow Bleacher Report on Instagram now. I bet they've already got that Mike Napoli home run on Bleacher Report. Russell Martin leads it off against Jeff Manship. While Trevor Bauer started this game, Martin never faced him. He faced Dan Otero in the first and grounded out. Now he's facing Manship. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bauer leaving after 2/3 of an inning when that right pinky finger opened up. Too much blood. And his night was through. Dan Otero followed him to the mound, gave up a solo homer to Michael Saunders in the second. They checked down at first and said he didn't go. And Manship, the 3rd Cleveland pitcher, working here in the 4th.
Pretty good breaking ball, but just missing outside with it.
And that time he went.
Got him on a swing on that, Ronnie?
Yeah, I think you do. It's just, you know, when a guy is struggling as Martin is, it seems like every call goes against you. As Terry Francona is going to go out and look like he's going to take the ball away from Manship. His first postseason appearance.
And here's somebody else ready to make their debut. Zach McAllister will be back. The Knicks and Cavs, followed by the Spurs and Warriors. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern, live from Cleveland. There's the Toronto Raptors backcourt of Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. You've seen the Cavaliers in Cleveland supporting the Indians, and a couple of Toronto All-Stars supporting the Blue Jays.
Let's see Zach McAllister's numbers from this year. A little more power arm than Jeff Manship. That's why he's in here against the left-handed hitting Saunders. Brian Shaw now up in the bullpen for Cleveland.
Didn't mean to, fouled it back to the screen. Saunders homered in the second off Dan Otero. There's Brian Shaw.
Really, you're just trying to see if you can get this game into the 5th, maybe into the 6th. If you do, then things return to normal for Andrew Miller, Cody Allen, et al.
upstairs. A ball and a strike. Saunders connecting for his first home run and first run batted in of this postseason when he homered in the second.
Yeah, Francona doesn't match his guys up like the conventional righty-lefty. He doesn't really have but one lefty out in the bullpen. And so he's going to go more power, sometimes more breaking ball, other times. This is the matchup he thought was best for Saunders.
In the air, left center field. Naquin is back. Crisp is back. And the veteran Coco Crisp hauls it in.
Looks like Michael Saunders likes the 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, locked in, just missed it.
McAllister is 28. He's 6'6", 240, and made a lot of starts earlier in his career. Yankees drafted him in 2006, and he was traded to the Indians 4 years later for Austin Kearns. This year, 53 games, only 2 of those were starts. Threw it by Pilar, 0-1.
98 registered on the gun there.
That got you out of your seat down there near the dugout.
Yes, it did.
Jumps ahead 0-2.
This Cleveland team's been resilient. Danny Salazar didn't throw another pitch till after September 9th. Carlos Carrasco didn't throw a pitch after September 17th. And they still won home field advantage against the Red Sox.
Kevin Pillar waits on an 0-2. Tap to third. Ramirez goes him out. Manship and McAllister combine on a 1-2-3 inning. 4 in the book.
2016 ALCS telecast on TBS is brought to you by the Lincoln Motor Company and the exhilarating new Lincoln MKZ, and by T-Mobile One. Welcome to Unlimited Baseball.
Top half of the fifth. Here in Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. The first game in Toronto after Cleveland took the first two at Progressive Field, and Tyler Naquin quickly behind Marcus Stroman. No balls and 2 strikes. Those images you saw as we came on a commercial break from the production crew's bus trip from Cleveland into Toronto, north of the border.
It's Trevor Bauer back on the bench for his Indians.
Got that pinky all wrapped up again. Can't go out there with anything like that on your hand. Just against the rules. And Bauer tried tonight. Made it through 2/3 of an inning before it opened back up.
That was a pretty good pitch right there. I think the outside corner has been a little liberal. And that pitch looks like it has a lot of the plate in the upper part of the strike zone.
Trying to get that backdoor slider, just has not gotten it exactly where he needs it yet. Going for the fastball up again.
Got him looking. The rookie didn't think much of the call, but one down.
But that was a little higher than the one he called a ball. So that tells me he might have thought he missed that one.
I think that's what always difficult, Cal, for hitters is when they take a pitch prior in the at bat and it's not called a strike, they just figure that if they catch another pitch like that, it'll be called the same way.
4th strikeout for Marcus Stroman. And here's Roberto Perez, who took a called 3rd strike in the 2nd.
Breaking ball's big and sharp today. Looks like he's finding a little more rhythm with it as well.
Ball and 2 strikes to Perez, who homered in his first postseason at bat. Game 1 against the Red Sox in Cleveland. And he's just 2 for 15 total in the playoffs. Breaking pitch. He laid off. 2-2. In the air to right. Routine play for Bautista. 2 up and 2 down.
Since that Napoli home run, Stroman has not thrown many balls over the middle of the plate. He's starting to find the corners again.
Now here's Carlos Santana. Walked in the first and came around to score on Mike Napoli's 2-out double. And he popped to short his 2nd time.
That shift is the normal shift, except Donaldson stays home a little bit more since that 2-0 bunt. Even when the count went to 2-0 earlier, he didn't budge like he did back in Cleveland.
Donaldson drifting back and makes the catch. 50,000 here know how big this game is. Blue Jays trailing 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the fifth. League is back starting this Friday, October 21st. Ron, catch the best in esports with E-League Season 2 on TBS every Friday.
I'm all over Cloud9 and Luminosity.
You think they're going to battle it out?
I do. I think so.
I'm impressed. Here's Ezekiel Carrera leading off in the bottom of the fifth.
That seemed a little rehearsed from down here.
It was a bad idea. I had the idea 2 days ago. It was bad then.
You're on your game.
Worse today.
Iron Man saw right through that. 0-2 to Carrera. 8, 9, and 1 due here in the bottom half of the fifth inning for Toronto as they face Zach McAllister, the fourth Indians pitcher. Cleveland leads it 2-1. Well hit to the gap in right center field. That's going to get down. It's off the wall. Carrera around second. The throw to third. Late. Leadoff triple for Ezekiel Carrera.
Big fastball to the gap. And he's running all the way. He's got his eyes looking. Stay against that wall. Stay against that wall. And he turns it on for 3.
He's had a nice postseason, hasn't he?
Here's Ryan Goins, the number 9 hitter. Takes inside 1-0.
The infield's back up the middle. The corners have the option of making a play at home. Both the corners are in. Herrera's got to make sure it gets past the pitcher on the ground.
Right back up the middle. That'll score the run. Lindor throws him out, and we are tied.
Lindor looked home.
So here's the ball, bounces out to the wall. It sticks, stays there right next to the wall. Naquin has to go get it, which gives him a chance to take that extra stride and make a determination to go for 3. Big triple. Different story if it just stays at a double.
Brian Shaw has made that sprint more than any other reliever in the American League, and he's on here in the 5th. We are tied at 2 in Game 3. Terry Francona made a few trips to the mound in this one. Fifth Indians pitcher of the night.
Well, Trevor Bauer had the lead with a bloody finger after 21 pitches. Otero threw 20, Manship 20, McAllister 12.
And now Brian Shaw is on. Nobody on. 1 out. A run in. Here's Bautista, top of the order.
You know that spot on the scoreboard where the ball was hit. I'm wondering if that's an electronic scoreboard where that's always dead. And that's one of those things, if you play here, you know. If you don't play here, you don't necessarily know. It could be one of those home field advantage.
Where you know you're not going to get much carom off of there.
See, it has that little padding there at the bottom of the scoreboard, too.
With the padding on the rest of the fence, the ball can carom back to you. So the ball hits it. It doesn't seem like it wants to bounce off of there. It almost dens it like a screen, like behind in the back screen behind the backstop.
2 balls, 1 strike. Three on 1.
Blue Jays have been fighting this entire series to try to get a lead against the Indians.
Fly ball, left field. Crisp puts it away. Boy, 50,000 here. Tried to will that ball out. It's 2 down.
He just got under that one.
You know, we asked John Gibbons before the game about the roof closed, roof open. He said when they have it closed in April and May because the weather hasn't changed yet, he thinks the ball really travels here when the roof is closed. But as the summer comes and they open and close the roof, he says it's better when it's open as far as traveling or the ball traveling.
Donaldson walked in the first, fouled out to Napoli in the third.
Ball really cuts when it's on the outside part of the plate. 96 miles an hour with pretty good cut action to it.
To left field, Chris Bond has to play it off his chest. And Donaldson aboard with 2 down.
Yeah, you see Coco makes a commitment to go catch the ball, then gets caught in between, but he can't let the ball get past him. So he used his body like a catcher would to block the ball and keep it in front of him to keep Josh Donaldson to a single.
Encarnacion waiting on Shaw. Grounded to third. Ramirez goes the short way for the force. And that'll do it for the Blue Jays in the 5th, but they tie it up. Carrera with a triple. Comes around to score the tying run. It's 2-2. Presented by the all-new Chrysler Pacifica. Frankie Lindor with 3 straight multi-hit games in the postseason. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He will come to the plate second against Marcus Stroman as Jason Kipnis takes a strike. Well, we know that 2 runs won't win this game tonight. It was enough in games 1 and 2 in Cleveland, 2-0 and 2-1, tied 2-2 here in game 3.
Including the wild card game, Stroman's allowed 22 home runs. 14 of them have come the 3rd time through the order.
Jason Kipnis 0 for 2 tonight, now 0 for 9 in the series. And that ball is drilled to right field, and she is gone. Jason Kipnis breaks the drought and stakes the Indians to the lead again. It's 3-2.
Boy, in today's game, the 3rd time through the order for starting pitchers. Death.
From a hitter's perspective, you got a really good idea what he has that particular night. This was a 2-2 fastball. Try to get it on the outside corner, probably outer half. He smokes it.
Here's Lindor. Takes a strike.
It was really the Mike Napoli show, as he was 2 for 2. The rest of the Indians were 0 for 15 until that home run from Kipnis.
His 2nd home run of this postseason. And the Indians, who have not trailed in the last 47 innings, again reclaim the lead.
They won't let this crowd get into it. Every time they tie it up, they go right ahead again.
Well, it's been a quiet night for Francisco Lindor. He's 0 for 3. And here comes Mike Napoli, who came into this game 0 for 6 in the series and 2 for 18 in the postseason. And all he's done is deliver a run-scoring double in the 1st and a solo homer in the 4th.
Got to be a tough call for Gibbons to leave Stroman in here against Napoli. Had to think about maybe going to his bullpen.
That solo homer by Kipnis certainly puts the Andrew Miller element of the equation in.
Pretty certain this is going to be a breaking ball here on 2-0.
Three balls and no strikes.
And maybe even on the 3-0 pitch. I don't think he wants to give in here. Fastball away.
There's another strike and the count full, so Marcus Stroman battling back.
He's got the deer in the headlights look. The deer is Napoli.
And back to the fastball again. Oh no, breaking ball. I thought he shook to the fastball. First sign that went down was a 3.
Blue Jays tying things up in the bottom of the 5th, only to have an immediate answer from the Indians, and that is ball 4 sailing outside. This is John Gibbons making his way to the mound. It looks like it will be all for Marcus Stroman. Who has worked 5 1/3.
You know what Francona's thinking with the lead again.
His initials are AM. Branch, but Jason Kipnis got it all here in the top half of the 6th inning, broke the tie, and it is 3-2 Cleveland in Game 3. Marcus Stroman's night is done after 5 1/3, and here is Joe Biagini.
Biagini's got a lot of work for this bullpen. We talked about him being a Rule 5. Had a lot of work in the post. A lot of work this season.
Jose Ramirez stands in.
They called that a foul tip.
Foul tip, yep.
0-1.
High check swing. Must have nicked his bat.
Quickly ahead, 0-2. Biagini worked a scoreless and hitless 2 innings in Game 2. Brett Cecil, left-hander, loosening in the Toronto bullpen. John Gibbons watching his team tie it up and then give the lead back.
Well, we showed that stat earlier, that both bullpens have been outstanding in this series, but in the entire postseason, the Toronto bullpen, with a 1.06 ERA, has been even better than Cleveland's.
Cal Ramirez gives you some good at-bats up there, doesn't he?
Yeah, I was just watching the pitch sequence, and Biagini shaking off 4 pitches to go inside on the fastball. But yeah, he waits up there, he sees the ball, recognizes it well, stays on it a long time. He's a tough out.
Napoli, short lead at first. Down in the dirt, and there goes Napoli, and the throw is late. And we've seen this before from Mike Napoli. Had the delayed steal in the Boston series.
I'm wondering if Tulowitzki thinks that he put the tag on him and he came off the bag. Watch.
Well, he pointed to the dugout to check it to make sure.
Hits the bag. Looks like he has contact with his back leg. I think he'll be ruled safe here.
Only way that you can take advantage of that if you're Mike Napoli and don't have a lot of speed, you have to anticipate that breaking ball is going to be in the dirt.
Two balls, two strikes to Ramirez, now with a runner in scoring position. Line drive right center field. That ball's going to get down. They're going to wave Napoli. He's on his way to the plate, and he scores as Ramirez delivers an RBI single. Napoli with the heads-up base running to get into scoring position, and immediately Ramirez knocks him in.
What a game Napoli is having. And nice hitting by Ramirez.
But look at no hesitation right away. He knows where the outfielders are. He reads the ball off the bat and says that's a hit, and he takes off and scores. Good judgment on the moving up to second base, and good judgment on that and good read on that little bloop single.
2 runs across here in the 6th. What was a 2-2 game, now 4-2 Indians as Biagini throws over. At Mary Art's Pub and Grill. We hear all about the party at Napoli's. That's the theme of that bash tonight. Chisenhall's 0 for 2. An uneasy feeling coming over Rogers Center here in Toronto.
Well, we talked about the base running, didn't we, coming into this series? And said that Cleveland, they were great from going first to third. Well, part of being a good base runner is taking advantage of the ball in the dirt, and Napoli did.
Yeah, I remember what Terry Francona said. He said, "Yeah, we got some guys that can steal the bases, but they're smart base runners." We saw Roberto Perez run the bases really well early on. Mike Napoli right there doesn't have the speed. He's not going to steal a base, although he does have one, a delayed stolen base. He gets to second base and makes a great read and scores.
Tap foul at the plate. No, you're right, Cal. Remember, you talked about Perez tagging up on the deep fly ball at Fenway and then later scoring. You've seen Rajay Davis in this series, and you've seen Napoli, just to name a few.
They stole a lot of bases, but base running doesn't stop there.
The 1-2 is lined to center. Pilar is right there for the second out.
Getting some better swings against Biagini tonight.
This would be a good chance, good time to take a risk on a stolen base.
Kipnis got his, so he was trying to give a high five to Chisenhall, who wasn't hearing it.
Strike to Crisp. 0-1. So 4 runs charged to Marcus Stroman. And Biagini trying to get out of this with no further damage.
can read Coco Crisp's thinking right there. He's trying to get him a chance to steal. Saw him fake run, so he squares around the bunt. Sometimes that messes with coverage, but he was clearly letting him have the first 2 pitches to try to get down to second base. Now he's got a battle.
Fly ball to center on the 0-2 pitch. Pilar drifting back and makes the play. But Cleveland breaks the tie. Napoli right in the middle of it. Amex card members now through December 31st. There's a big reason for you to shop small across America. Learn more and enroll your eligible card today at americanexpress.com/shop small offer. Terms apply. They always do. Zipping right along into the bottom half of the 6th inning. Troy Tulowitzki leading off against Brian Shaw. Missed in tight. 2 balls and no strikes.
Talked about Shaw having the most appearances. See all the signs here at the Rogers Center. Terry Francona said he pitches better the more he pitches.
Bounced up the middle. Lindor. What a strong arm. 1 down.
Good communication between those two. I think Jason had a shot at the ball. Lets Lindor come over. His body's in a better position to throw to first.
Kipnis, in fact, has been a bit of a mentor for Francisco Lindor.
Even talks about, Cal, the fact that he has to get on the kid every now and then as the veteran on that infield. Russell Martin is 0 for 2.
Cleveland has not made an error in this postseason. Their defense has been impeccable.
Two balls and a strike. There's only one error made on the Toronto side. That was on the kickoff throw the other day.
There's a veteran, Jason Grilli, up in the bullpen for Toronto.
We saw Allen up in the bullpen in between innings. I don't see any action out there right now. Seemed kind of odd to have him up. Then again, you've learned to expect the unexpected. Maybe he's just getting loose for later in the game.
Martin slaps it foul.
Cal, if you're a hitter against Shaw, you got to feel like if you're a right-handed hitter, almost every pitch is going to be middle of the plate away.
Yeah, it's got such late movement, cutter, and it's got good velocity, so you got to stay on it. Think right center field, right field, and then if he does bring one in with a little bit more part of the plate, then you can react to it. But you can't pull off of this pitch.
He struck him out. 2 down here in the 6th.
Well, there's a pop-up earlier. Lindor kind of stole it from Kipnis. He looked back at him with that big smile. Kipnis looked like he wanted to strangle him as he sprinted off the field with him. That's the tough love from Kipnis.
Almost as entertaining a duo as Elvis Andrus and Adrian Beltre in Texas. A special relationship. 2 up and 2 down here in the 6th. Here's Michael Saunders, who got Toronto on the board with a solo shot to lead off the 2nd. Used to call that the low bridge.
Ball didn't seem that close to Saunders, but there's very few pitchers that are thrown up and in anymore, so always surprising to the hitters. An important pitch. That pitch could have went. I thought it was a ball outside, but Shaw got the call.
StatCast is powered by Amazon Web Services. The opposite field shot by Saunders in the 2nd inning. 378. A shade over 100 miles an hour leaving the bat. Jason Grilli, big StatCast fan. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Saunders waves at it and fouls it back. And Perez runs out of room.
Really impressed this postseason with the defensive skills of Roberto Perez. It's been outstanding.
Remember the injury-plagued year that Yan Gomes had behind the plate, too, and rehabbing a shoulder, and then just about to come back, gets hit by a pitch, works his way back from that, and homers on the last day of the season, makes the roster. But we haven't seen him yet in this postseason. Saunders goes down swinging for out number 3. 1, 2, 3, 6th for Brian Shaw. In this series, Tuesday afternoon at 4. Game 5, if they need it, will be Wednesday. Also an afternoon start, coverage beginning at 3:30. Top half of the 7th inning, Jason Grilli makes his first appearance of this series for Toronto. Tyler Naquin takes 1-0.
Well, Grilli's best year in the major leagues was 2013 with the Pirates, when he had 33 saves in 56 games. Those are his numbers this year with Atlanta and Toronto.
If you're keeping a scorebook at home, and I doubt you are, but they have changed the official scoring. Originally it was a stolen base for Napoli in the 6th. They changed it to a wild pitch. And if you are keeping score, I apologize. More people should do it. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tyler Naquin. He's 0 for 2. There you go. That's the spirit. One down here in the 7th. You talk about Jason Grilli's huge year with Pittsburgh when he made the All-Star. Still one of my favorite stories, Ronnie.
Yeah.
That the day he got the word, the team was in Chicago, and it was that weekend Clint Hurdle had the players take their dads with them on the road. And for Jason to be able to tell his dad, I just made the All-Star team, in the outfield at Wrigley Field, and his dad said, hey, you want to play catch? And they had this Field of Dreams moment at Wrigley. Guy's been through a lot in his career. Various injuries, and has seen some real mountaintop moments in his career as well.
You know, his dad was a teammate of mine one time.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yes, indeed. No balls and a strike. Well hit by Perez to center. Pilar is going to have to play that off the ground. Boy, it's a great sliding stop he made. But Carrera heads up was backing him up all the way.
I'd like to see the replay of that. I don't know how he caught that on a hop. Looked like he got in a position where he was trying to make the play. Couldn't quite get there. And magically the ball went in his glove.
Yeah, I don't know if he exactly knows how he stopped that either.
That's called the smother.
So Perez with his first hit of this series. He's at first with one down. It's the top of the order. Carlos Santana walked and scored in the first, couple of pop outs in the third and the fifth.
No real stolen base threat. I'm trying to figure out what happened there.
We saw Santana hit a home run from the right side in this series, but he's got more power from the left side. 35 home runs this year, 30 of them against right-handed pitching.
One ball, no strikes. Here it comes. That's upstairs 2-0. This game was tied 2-2 through 5. Then Jason Kipnis homered. Jose Ramirez knocked in Mike Napoli. In the air, shallow left. Carrera on. 2 down. John Gibbons making the walk to the mound. Jason Kipnis is due. And they'll bring on the left-hander Brett Cecil to face the left-hand hitting Jason Kipnis. We'll be back right after this. Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. And the Toronto Blue Jays at home and trailing 4-2. And Brett Cecil, their fourth pitcher.
You know, early in his career, he won 15 games as a starter, but hasn't been in the bullpen since 2013. Kind of an up and down year this year for Brett.
He's been called on here to face Jason Kipnis, who homered his last time to break a 2-2 tie. Lefty and a righty in the Toronto pen. Meantime, Cody Allen is up and throwing in the Cleveland pen. In the air to right. Bautista over and makes the play. Middle of the seventh. 4-2. Cleveland. MLB fans always stay connected to the game they love. Show us how you're baseball's #1 fan by using #UnlimitedBaseball for a free MLB Shop gift code and other epic prizes. Well, Brian Shaw came on in the 5th. Now the bottom of the 7th, and he faces the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Toronto in a 4-2 game.
Yeah, yeoman work here for Shaw, who's now thrown 25 pitches.
2-0 to Kevin Pillar. He's 0 for 2. Grounded out to the pitcher, grounded out to third. to right field. That's going to fall for a hit. Pilar aboard to start the Toronto seventh.
Here comes Terry.
Ezequiel Carrera is due for Toronto. He's 2 for 2 with a triple. That's going to be it for Brian Shaw. Cody Allen got saves in the first 2 games. Comes out of the pen here in the 7th. Spotlight is presented by the Hartford. The bullpen getting their work in on a night when Trevor Bauer left after 2/3 of an inning.
I mean, it's one of these games that you usually see in March in Arizona or Florida. But here, one of the biggest games for both the Blue Jays and the Indians. Indians run through their bullpen.
So right when you think you figured out Francona, I think this is Miller time, but now it's Allen time.
Good job by Brian Shaw. Outstanding.
Allen's been in 4 games this postseason, hasn't allowed a run in 5 innings of work. Carrera tripled his last time.
This year, Cody Allen has not been in a game in the 7th inning.
Ball and a strike.
We've seen it all series long. Roberto Perez has had perfect form on keeping that ball in front of him.
Allen converted 32 out of 35 saves in the regular season, 4 out of 4 in the postseason. And as you point out, Ronnie, 7th inning tonight in a 4-2 game. Inside.
So what do you make of the logic? Do we not define closers anymore in the playoffs? Where the closer then now comes in the 7th inning of a ball game, and now maybe Miller is a closer in this ball game.
You know, one of the strengths of this Cleveland team is that they always seem to have the right matchups offensively. Well, they're doing the same thing with their bullpen, trying to have the correct kind of matchups. You know, at some point, you're going to have to go through Bautista and Donaldson and Encarnacion and Tulo.
Two balls, two strikes. Pilar with a lead at first. Full count.
It's a special group of guys that can put their ego down or look at what their role is and just say, okay, I'm a pitcher. Francona, use me any way you want.
Runner going, fly ball, right field. Chisenhall, one down.
He took a really great pass at this, just missed getting that out.
It was almost like it was just the way enough, Cal.
John Gibbons will go to the bench. Call on Justin Smoke. The pinch hit for Ryan Goins.
Remember, Smoke only got on this roster for the ALCS because of the injury to Devin Travis. Home run power from both sides of the plate.
Smoke is a switch hitter. Waiting on Cody Allen.
You know, guys, I can't help but think, I asked Francona earlier about putting Bautista in the first part. Does that change your thinking from your bullpen? And clearly, I think it has. Instead of being in the fourth spot where the lineup turns over and you plan maybe a little different in your matchups.
Two and 0. Yeah, Bautista hitting leadoff tonight in the on-deck circle, and then it's Donaldson and Encarnacion.
Just a different offense in this championship series so far.
Pilar going. Here's the throw. He's in there, and Lindor trying to keep the tag on him. But Pilar held the base. He's in scoring position.
Well, they're checking it because, one, it was unbelievable stop by Lindor on the one hop. And then he went right back at Pilar to try to tag him because Pilar thought the ball was going into center field. Whoa, that's close. You could call him out.
Well, look at his foot. Is his foot on the base too? Foot's on the base. It looks like it might have came off too.
That's the right call, Cal. His foot was on.
That call will be challenged. Laz Diaz, who was with this crew for the first 2 games, now in the replay center. And here's what he'll be looking at.
What a heads-up play, though, by Lindor to not only make the play, get up and try to tag Pilar. And see his right foot toe. It's on the corner of that bag, although it slipped off there for a little bit. Tough call.
It looks like when he made the tag on his arm, his foot was on the bag and his foot came off a little bit and his fingertips came back to the bag. That's going to be a hard one to overturn.
That's right.
Crew chief Brian Gorman. $50,000 fans. Cleveland and Toronto all waiting for this. Pilar stays at second.
Maybe that's the break the Blue Jays needed.
The count is 2-1. And Smoke takes a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Allen so far has really mainly featured that breaking ball since coming in. Smoke 4 for his last 39 with a runner in scoring position.
That runner is Kevin Pilar. In tight, count full, 3-2.
Well, he threw the breaking ball 2-1 on the 2-1 count. I wouldn't doubt he'd throw it again on a 3-2 count.
He struck him out, 2 down.
Well, you got 2 straight fastballs from Allen to get to that 3-2 count, and he counters with that great breaking ball.
It's amazing to me that you have these guys that have 94, 95, and when they need a strike, they can also go the breaking ball 2-0, 3-1, 3-2.
Top of the order now, and Jose Bautista represents the tying run if he gets a hold of one. There's a strike. Bautista making some headlines by looking at the offensive production the first couple of games and saying the circumstances were against him. Didn't specify exactly what, but everybody knew what he was talking about.
Roberto Perez faking with his glove near the back foot of Bautista like they were going to come in, and then he shifted back to the outside corner.
One ball, 1 strike. That missed. 2 balls and a strike for Bautista. Pilar started the inning with a single to right. That's when Cody Allen replaced Brian Shaw. Got a fly ball from Carrera, struck out Smoke. Three balls and a strike. Not the kind of numbers you see if you want to see if you're Toronto.
I don't see him giving in right here with a fastball. Bautista's dead red. Had some good swings at the fastball. I can't see him challenging him here with a fastball. He did. I don't think Batista leads it either.
I think part of that is that, yes, he's batting leadoff, and yes, he's got tremendous power, but the best hitter in the postseason for the Blue Jays is the guy behind him, Josh Donaldson.
Payoff pitch to Bautista. Walked it.
It's the right call here from Gorman. Off the plate away.
Tried to bring that fastball back to the outside corner, just missed.
I was talking earlier about Roberto Perez and his ability to frame pitches, even if they have not looked like strikes to the Toronto Blue Jays. He still has done a nice job of framing pitches that have upset the Blue Jays, but maybe he's gotten his pitchers those calls.
That was the first walk issued by Cleveland pitching since Trevor Bauer walked 2 in his 2/3 of an inning to start this game before he left with the bloody pinky finger on his pitching hand. They're at first and second for Josh Donaldson.
In this postseason, Josh Donaldson, runners in scoring position, 4 for 4.
In left field, and Coco Crisp made that play. It looked for all the world like it was going to be 5 for 5, but Crisp coming on made that catch and saved the day, at least in the 7th inning. Look at the veteran. Cradling it against his chest for out number 3. Game 4 of this series, Indians and Blue Jays, tomorrow, 4 o'clock. on TBS. Boy, did it look like Toronto was going to close the gap. Darwin Barney on to play second base now after a pinch hit for Ryan Goins. Brett Cecil still on for Toronto. That ball by Donaldson hit on the button, and Coco crisp. What did you think, Cal, from down there? You think that ball was going to fall?
Yeah, it was looked like towards the end, maybe it got caught in the bank of lights a little bit because he was a little hesitant when he went down, but trapped it. Didn't make Josh too happy. They've been playing this kind of defense for the whole playoffs.
He fell behind 3-0, but poured in a strike to Francisco Lindor. Did Brett Cecil. How valuable has Coco Crisp been on this team, defensively and offensively? Leadoff walk in the 8th to Lindor.
One of those ho-hum deals that is not so ho-hum right now.
Here's Mike Napoli, who's been on every trip tonight. Doubled home a run in the first, homered in the 4th, walked and scored in the 6th.
Crazy baseball is. Josh Donaldson and Coco Crisp, teammates in Oakland for a few seasons, and now Crisp robs Donaldson.
Lindor, Santana, and Chisenhall were the only Indians with hits through the first 2 games. Spread it around a little more tonight. Guy at the plate breaking out here in game 3.
Best game face in the major leagues, Mike Napoli.
Now Toronto in a position here where they're, I know it's a best of 7. But your season is on the line here over these next 2 innings. You want to avoid falling in a 3-0 hole.
Just a breaking ball from Cecil. Breaks straight down. We know that Mike Napoli likes the ball up in the strike zone. Cecil counters with a good breaking ball.
Switch hitting. Jose Ramirez steps in. He's 1 for 3. He greeted Joe Biagini with a base hit that scored Napoli and provided the Indians with their 2-run lead. It's 4-2 as we play in the 8th.
Saw Lindor at first base talking to Sandy Alomar Jr. trying to get a little help here. Cecil opposition 6 for 6 and stolen base attempts. Terry Francona was saying that Sandy Alomar Jr. has been outstanding over there, helping his runners, especially against the left-handed pitching.
Thought he was going. It was a heck of a bluff as it's fouled near first. Encarnacion makes the play for the 2nd out.
Yeah, I always didn't like the extra foul ground here as a hitter. It's not quite as bad as Oakland, but it's pretty close. A lot of room on the sides to foul out. You want to get that back as a hitter, you get one more chance. That's way back up there in Fenway. That's one of the least foul ground. There's ample foul ground here, though.
Lonnie Chisenhall steps in. 0 for 3 tonight. Haven't said 0 for when it comes to Chisenhall in this postseason. Hits safely in every game. Tonight he's grounded out, struck out, and lined to center. There goes Lindor. Here comes the throw, and he's in there. Nothing Russell Martin likes more than a good challenge on the base paths. But Lindor got the hand in there.
This looks like he's going to be safe because he gets a good jump. The ball skips off the turf, and Tulo puts the tag down really quickly.
He slapped that tag right down in front of the bag. And look at the hands of Lindor. They seem to go on either side of the glove.
And did he come off the base? Looks like he barely beats it, although that angle on the scoreboard up there looks like he might be out.
When it comes to these plays, it's always do they have enough in Chelsea to overturn the call on the field? That's the difficult part.
Here's a good shot to see if his hands might come off. Tag goes down. And the tag comes up his arm. Up, there it is. He's out. Did he get his left leg in there? The super slow-mo helps us.
That's the old shortstop trick there too, Cal. He kind of helped his arm off that bag, didn't he?
Yeah, pull it up a little bit while you make the tag.
Tulowitzki's pointing to the board and showing the umpire.
We're heading to the bottom of the 8th. Stay tuned after the game for the postseason show on TBS, presented by the Lincoln Motor Company, with Casey Stern, Pedro Martinez, Gary Sheffield, and Jimmy Rollins. Seen here. Pedro and J-Roll. Bottom half of the eighth. 3-4-5 due for the Blue Jays, down 2.
It looked like Pedro was trying to figure out, what Tito Francona is going to do and how he's going to do it.
Encarnacion on the ground into the shift. Kipnis throws him out for the first out. Encarnacion 0 for 4.
Tulowitzki coming up. He's 0 for 3 lifetime off Allen. And then Russell Martin 1 for 3 with a home run.
Did you see Bauer kind of making fun of Kipnis' throw to first base? Like he threw a changeup and he turned it over.
Here's Tulowitzki. He walked in the first. He was the last batter faced by Trevor Bauer before he left with the pinky finger that was bleeding profusely. Had the 10 stitches on Friday. Gave it a go tonight. Didn't work. Two balls and 1 strike to the Blue Jays cleanup hitter tonight. Tulowitzki 0 for 2 with that walk. Toronto down 2 and trailing the series 2 games to none as we play in the bottom half of the 8th.
That's a pitch Tulowitzki did not like. Felt like that ball was down and away on our strike zone. You'll see that it was. Did not come back enough.
The 2-2. Strike 3 called. 2 down here in the 8th. You're just joining us, Trevor Bauer. Cutting his finger on that drone. Tried to start with the 10 stitches and didn't get out of the first inning. Too much bleeding. His night was over. Dan Otero, Jeff Manship, Zach McAllister, Brian Shaw, Cody Allen have all come on in relief. And now Andrew Miller enters the fray in the bottom of the 8th. Back to game 3 in Toronto after this.
back-to-back days, or in a series like this, it's certainly a challenge to figure out, okay, I got him this time, how do I do it the next time? And they're thinking just along with you, but you do what you can, you trust your catcher. I think Roberto's done an awesome job in keeping an eye on maybe what direction they're leaning or what they're looking for in his mind, and we follow him, and I think just trust that the work we put in is going to pay off.
Well, here he is, Andrew Miller on. Faces Russell Martin and throws a strike, 0-1.
Trevor Bauer started the game. Now with all the relievers, 129 pitches thrown by Cleveland Indian pitchers.
In this postseason, Andrew Miller, 7 2/3 innings pitched, no runs, 17 strikeouts. And that looked like 18, but Martin held up a ball and 2 strikes. In this series, he's faced 12 hitters, struck out 10 of them, and make that 11 out of 13. And it's still a 2-run game as we go to the 9th. Andrew Miller coming off the mound in the bottom of the 8th.
Telling Roberto Perez, nice job, right back at you.
We move to the 9th. Roberto Osuna is on for Toronto.
Osuna had some struggles in September, but corrected the ship, and he's been outstanding in the postseason, as you see.
He's the 5th Toronto pitcher, and he throws inside to Chisenhall. A ball and a strike. Four 5-0 for Cleveland. 2 6-0 for Toronto. This Blue Jay team that hammered the Texas Rangers. Scored 1 run in Cleveland. 2 tonight at home.
Terry Francona trying to get a win with a bloodied sock and with a bloody pinky.
You heard him talking to Sam Ryan earlier about trying to cobble this one together. Again, every button pushed has been right as Chisenhall lofts this one to left center field. Pilar calling. Had some company there from Carrera. 1 down.
They both called the ball at the same time, it looked like, so they couldn't hear each other. Center fielder has priority over the left fielder here.
You'd rather your left fielder stop instead of running in front of you as the ball descends, though.
Coco Crisp, of course. Base hit to right. What else can he do? Made a sensational diving catch to preserve the 2-run lead, and now singles with 1 out in the 9th.
He's thinking about stealing the base is what he's thinking.
Had one of those in the 2nd inning of this one. There's Andrew Miller preparing for the bottom half of the 9th. And preparing for 6, 7, 8 in the Toronto order.
Coco takes that interesting lead. He opens up that right leg at a kind of a 45-degree angle, so he's getting a better look at second base.
And the longer you hold, the more he leans out on his right leg too.
Tyler Naquin is 0 for 3. He struck out a couple of times. Well hit to the gap in right center field. That ball's going to get down. And it's going to bounce over the wall. And that is a tough break for the Cleveland Indians. Because Coco Crisp scores easily if that ball caroms off the wall.
Nice hitting by the rookie Naquin. Impressive. Fastball down from Osuna.
Ball jumped off his bat too.
That was a good read by Coco. That's why he would have scored easily if it would have stayed in play.
But runners at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out for Roberto Perez.
Well, the infield's in, but you also have to be at least a little leery of maybe a bunt attempt by Perez. Both Cleveland and Toronto this year have used that kind of safety squeeze play. I personally would let him swing away with a 2-run lead.
Perez taking a good long look at Mike Sarbaugh, the 3rd base coach, who now has a word or two for Coco Crisp coming down the line at 3rd.
Yeah, I don't think Perez is a candidate for this, really. You want him to swing the bat and drive in the run.
2 balls and no strikes.
They are giving a lot of signs.
Perez has been, he's had a down year. He's hit under 200, but with runner on 3rd and less than 2 outs, 7 for 10. He's got them in.
In the dirt, 3-0.
I'd like Coco to be going on contact. You have a 4-2 lead, got speed on 3rd base. You want him to get a good secondary and try to score on the ground ball. Nice block by Russell Martin.
Yeah, he kept it a 2-run game. 3 balls and no strikes. Carlos Santana at the top of the order on deck. There's a strike, 3-1.
In a true contact play, if you're really going on contact, you're not reading the ball off the bat. So if the line drives hit at somebody, you should be doubled off. The only way to score is to get a good jump. And if the ball's not hit right at one of the infielders, you can score this run.
Full count, 3-2.
When you look around the outfield, Bautista's playing really shallow in right field. He's got a great arm. Carrera's got a great arm in left field. And Pilar, of course, you know, challenges the hitters and approaches the ball quicker than just about any other center fielder.
Osuna delivers the 3-2, and he struck him out. He battled back from 3-0, and that's out number 2.
He reached back and threw a high fastball at 96 miles an hour. Could not catch up with a high fastball.
Well, here's Santana, who walked and scored in the first. He's popped out a couple of times and flied out since. Rounder right side. Darwin Barney throws him out. Golden opportunity to pad the lead. Indians don't cash in. We head to the bottom of the ninth. Six relief pitchers since Trevor Bauer departed in the first inning. Andrew Miller goes to work in the bottom half of the ninth. Deoner Navarro a pinch hit from Michael Saunders. Veteran switch hitting catcher.
been smooth sailing for Miller here. His last 15 2/3 innings pitched, he's given up 5 home runs, but not the Miller we've seen.
I don't believe you, Ronnie.
Yeah, I've read it. I didn't believe it either.
Ball and a strike. And he missed inside, 2-1. Kevin Pillar in the on-deck circle. It's a 2-run game. Breaking pitch over. Nasty 2-2.
I mean, watching him enough now, when he needs a strike,
yeah,
he goes to his breaking ball. You got to convince yourself as a hitter, I need to sit on it. And that might be the breaking ball to hit because it starts away and comes back to the middle.
Served into right field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Navarro delivers a pinch hit single to open the ninth, then bring the tying run to the plate.
Here's one of those breaking balls that he tries to get the backside. Coming in the back door. And he just shortens up his swing and punches it to right field.
Here's Kevin Pillar. Melvin Upton has moved into the on-deck circle. 0-1.
With a 2-run lead, you see Napoli playing behind the runner. And a little bit pinched towards the line. Don't want to give a double down the right field line.
Look out. Bullet foul, and quickly no balls and 2 strikes. And he blew him away for the first out.
93 miles an hour on his other fastballs up until that point. Reached back for a little extra. 96. A little up, a little in, right by him.
Foul tipped by Pillar, but into the glove of Perez.
So 1 down here in the ninth and a runner on. Toronto in danger of falling into an 0-3 hole. But again, the tying run at the plate in the person of Melvin Upton.
Melvin Upton Jr. has the best numbers of anyone maybe in all of baseball against Miller. 5 for 14, 3 home runs.
Much of that coming several seasons ago.
They both remember.
Ball and a strike. The Indians looking for 2 more outs. A ball and 2 strikes.
Boy, that ground rule double looming larger right now, isn't it?
Difference between a 2-run and a 3-run lead.
Andrew Miller in his postseason career with men on, opposition is 1 for 20.
Even up, 2-2.
Upton appears to pick up that breaking ball better than most. That was a tough one to lay off of.
One out away from a 3-0 lead.
That was almost the equivalent count of a backup slider. Never really broke down and in. Stayed outside.
And it makes you wonder whether all these different breaking balls are intentionally thrown, whether he's going to go backdoor, try to get a punch out. We've seen him bury it down and into the righties. It looks like he's just overthrowing that right now.
Darwin Barney trying to keep the Toronto hopes alive with 2 outs here in the 9th. Handcuffed him. 1-1.
Another example when he needed a strike. 1-0. He goes to his breaking ball.
Every out recorded by Miller tonight by strikeout. And he's a strike away from his 4th of the night.
Callie's a guy who can throw 98, who's a breaking ball pitcher.
Yeah, and it's hard to convince yourself that when you get into a fastball count that you're going to get a breaking ball from him, but you will.
Back up the middle. Kipnis on the backhand. Long throw. He got him. And the Cleveland Indians are a win away from the World Series. They are merry indeed in Lakewood, Ohio.
The merriest Arts Pub and Grill.
What a nice play by Kipnis. Backhands it on the run. Throws off his right foot. Strike to first base.
Seen a lot of postseason games. Never seen one like this.
You talk about, you see managers and their coaches shake hands after games. That was a true team effort right there, up and down that roster and in that bullpen. And the Cleveland Indians have taken a 3-0 lead in this series.
Collaboration with a capital C for the Indians.
Let's go down to the field. Sam Ryan.
All right, Ernie, Mike, this team now undefeated in the postseason. Still, you get your first hits of this ALCS. You get the RBI double, the home run. What was the difference for you tonight?
I mean, I've been struggling a little bit, but you know, I'm a grinder. I go in the cage every day and try to find it. You know, it's just part of who I am. You know, I go through ups and downs, and you know, I was able to feel good in the box today.
Heads up base running in the 6th. Jose Ramirez, you were on second. What'd you see there?
I mean, been doing it all year. It's part of our team. You know, we read balls in the dirt, and you know, I read the ball going down and just took off. You know, something that we talk about all the time. We want to do, and you know, for me, I want to get in scoring position for Jose. You know, he's been able to, you know, be clutch for us all year, and you know, that's all I'm thinking about.
Your bullpen comes out, and this is a bullpen game, a game that Trevor Bauer didn't get out of the first inning. What can you say about the managerial job by Terry Francona?
He's been doing it all year. You know, it's been so nice to be around him every day. He's just he's an awesome guy, but you know, for our bullpen to step up like that today is the only reason why we were able to win today. So, you know, they're the reason why, and for them to do that, it's unbelievable.
Congratulations, Mike. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Sam. This is, well, they knew that they had their work cut out for them the way this game started, Ron. But again, every button Terry Francona pushed was the right one at the right time.
And you were hoping that Trevor Bauer could give you 4 or 5 innings of work, but his pinky started to bleed so profusely that you knew he was coming out. And it's not only that your bullpen was great, but guys had to expand their roles, had to pitch in different times in games. Cody Howell hasn't pitched in the 7th inning all season long. He did it tonight.
Let's go back down to Sam. Jason Kipnis.
Jason Kipnis making a difference in this one. Before the game, we caught you in batting practice saying, I'll use anything. I'll use a tree branch if I have to. Well, you broke out of the slump big time for your team. What did you see the 3rd time around for Marcus?
You know what? The swings were getting better for me. I was getting the foot down a little bit earlier and just being more on time with it. he dots up on the inside and away, and you just hope for one of those pitches to kind of come back over the plate, and that one did.
Well, you didn't have to use a stick to get a hit in that one. Defense coming through as well, playing alongside, for instance, you saw Coco as well. How much fun are you guys having out there?
Yeah, I mean, we're having a blast. Just watch us play, watch all the smiles. Guys are loose, guys are having a good time, and you're seeing the play out there kind of reflect that attitude.
So when you're playing behind Trevor Bauer in the first inning and you see what's going on there, what's transpiring, and he has to come out of the game, Terry has to go to the bullpen early. What's going through your mind at that moment?
Yeah, Trevor got a little leak. A couple of us had seen the wound kind of inside and knew it was a possibility of happening. He can deal with the pain, but it's getting something like that to close up. It's hard to do in this short amount of time. But we just had a couple bullpen days in the end of the year. I think we even got a bullpen win versus Verlander late in the year, so we knew that we can do this guy where we could piece together bullpen arm by bullpen arm and go 1 inning, 2 innings and still get a win. So we're still confident that we've done it before. We have the experience.
And up 3-0 now.
Up 3-0. It's a good feeling. We still got one more to get there, and it's going to be tough. We know these guys. We don't, just kind of like the Boston series, we don't want to wait around for them to figure it out. We want to get to them now.
Congratulations. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sam and Jason. Boy, the silence that fell over 50,000 here at Rogers Center. That silence deafening. Back to wrap it up after this.